When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Another episode of hashtag Saints Twitter podcast coming at you. I don't know why this little segment went over so well when I did the live block. But I did one just before, like literally just before we started recording. And I felt the need to just go over it. Okay, just really quickly. This is at Donkey Show Mafia. OMG. I actually agree with you on DA and like most your sports take, but just because someone said something you don't agree with and you block them, guess what? You fallen leaf loser. I voted for Trump twice and gonna do it again. Hashtag MAGA.
Blizzard. Block him twice,
bro. Why did I say in my response? I said double block. It's like you read my mind, man. So that was it. Was as live as it was gonna get because it happened literally like 45 seconds before we started recording. But we wanted to do this episode. We wanted to get something out. We know we haven't recorded in a bit, but one, it's like absolutely the deadest part in like the off season right now. Like there's absolutely nothing going on. You have the head coaching hires; those are all been finalized. Yeah, I think every team has a head coach. Those have all been finalized. But you know, you have the combine coming up, and then obviously there's gonna be more moves and you know things after that. The Derek Carrs. I don't even call them a sweepstakes. Like that's high praise for Derek Carr. I mean, I guess for the Saints, like that is a sweepstakes, bro. Like it's hard out here. So you have the Derek Carr sweepstakes still ongoing. He met with the Jets after meeting with the Saints, and he's taking his time as he fucking should before making a decision. It couldn't be a week without something coming out Saints related that's negative. So you had the AK Vegas video dropping, which haven't had time to watch it. Don't even know if I even want to watch it. But just reading the play-by-play from the Discord seems like his entourage wasn't a very fucking good entourage.
No, man. No, they trash, bro. Like, they wouldn't be my buddies after that.
and then I guess like he's caught, like heard in the car talking about how badly he beat up the dude. And
he's like, man, I let him fire your left hook on him. Something like that.
Listen, I am not the one to laugh at physical assault against another person, but like I'm more just laughing at the absolute fucking stupidity. Like the absolute stupidity that a player like that AK is showing in this whole thing. And yeah. I was told, this is dating back months ago, that the team was like fully expecting for him to be suspended 6 games for this upcoming season, for the 2023 season.
Yeah.
I don't know how the NFL is going to handle it, man, but you throw that video in, you throw that audio in, bro, it might not just be 6 games anymore, bro.
Possible, bro. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. You know, it's like, I guess, I can't remember. I mean, like, Pac-Man Jones, he used to stay in the shit like this, bro. But
yes.
he was, like, really bad. So, like, he got suspended for, like, a whole season at one time.
A season, Ryan.
He had gun charge, all type of stuff. This, I don't know, because AK never really got caught with anything before. It's kind of like his first real offense. But at the same time, you got the video.
You got the audio.
But then again, people are not as sensitive to, like, beatdowns. And that's just like, obviously like a domestic situation. So I don't know, bro. I don't know how it's going to play out, man. Got to see how the court proceedings play out. I just, like, bro, you just got to take your lick, bro. I don't know what. Like, you need to plead that shit out, take your lick, You're not going to do jail time behind it, but whatever you got to do, parole, house arrest maybe, some community service, anger management, whatever. Just do that shit and get it out the way, bro. But it's like, come on, bro. Like, what the dude was trying to do. And he succeeded. Like, he about to get broke off.
You played into it.
He about to be a millionaire, take a big chunk of your money, and you had your boys with you like, okay, y'all drunk and lit. Let them handle that, man. Like, this like, I would have been standing back just like, damn. Y'all beat that dude ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, just another thing for the Saints to have to think about. And the thing is, it's like, this shit been so stretched out because, like, we thought we was going to deal with this last season.
Yes.
But, like, they just stretched it out so long, so now it's going to happen this upcoming season.
Yep, it's going to happen this upcoming season for sure. And I've been vaguely on, like, Twitter, but not, like, a whole bunch. But, like, one consensus I've seen, at least on Twitter a little bit, is, like, now is the time, like, for the Saints to trade AK. Like, with what leverage? Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe there's a team, and again, the Saints typically don't trade from positions of leverage anyway, CD. But like, one of the last valuable trade assets you do have, where, depending on how you would assess an aging running back who, hasn't had like a stellar season. Now, some of that hasn't been on him. That's been offensive line. That's been play calling, but I digress. Quarterback play. But like, what team's going to see the video? Maybe there's a team, like maybe the Bills are so thirsty to getting past the hump, that they'll like, well, if we just had AK in our offense, that'll whatever, and they'll throw you. But like, I don't even know what AK's trade value is right now. I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah,
no clue.
This is probably the lowest right now.
Yes.
So the best that could happen is, a team get hot during the season, they get injured at running back or whatever. They just need one more piece to kind of spice it up. Kind of, like San Francisco did with C-Mac.
Yep.
Middle of the season, and maybe to throw you 2 second-round picks or future first or something like that. That's the best thing that can happen. But right now, it's like there's no real point in even seeking a trade. You're not going to get much cap relief from it at all. So it's just all. You just got to stick with it, man, and just see where it goes.
Let's move on a little bit. Let's talk about. Honestly, this episode is coming from a perspective of we want to talk about the offseason. So the combine's quickly approaching. I would like to say on record that I have not been less excited about a draft season in my entire life of being a draftnik besides this upcoming draft, bro. Like I don't have an urge to watch a single player. I don't have an urge to look at a mock draft. I don't have urges to do mock simulators. Nothing, Ryan. I spend more time in our hashtag Sewing Suitor podcast PS5 Madden League, writing notes, going through the salary cap, figuring out what the count penalties is, scouting players. I'm like, oh shit, like, what? How would Tyree Wilson fit on the Lions, right? Just all this in-depth shit that I would be doing for like real life shit. Not a single want, not a single urge. And like you said, through text message, like, man, this is what it is when you have a DA as a head coach, bro. Like,
yeah, this is the life, bro. Because I hate, not to just keep walking back to Sean Payton and all this stuff, but it's like those years when you had Sean Payton and Drew, you just every year you felt like you just had a shot. Like, man, if we just get a fire defensive tackle or get a wide receiver, that, man, we got a chance. Now it's just like, now I'm just hoping to see, like, can you at least just be a little fun to watch? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, can we like that Chris Olave play against the Rams, that Shaheed play against the Cardinals, right? Can it just get some of that consistently, bro? Like, I don't even feel like we're asking for much at this point. Just help us. Enjoy the season. That said, we do want to talk about off-season, and more specifically talking about the off-season wants, the off-season musts, and the off-season needs pertaining to the New Orleans Saints. I think the best place to probably start is must. And I feel like we're just doing ungodly things to a dead horse at this point. But like a must is just, for me, the first must I'm gonna put out there is figuring out quarterback.
Yeah.
It's a must. If it's Derek Carr, then it's Derek Carr. I was about to say Derek Anderson, telling you where my mind is. If Derek Carr,
him right now.
like, what is Derek Carr doing? That 2007 season, him and Braylon Ellis was cooking, bro. Like, man, it's hard out here, right? If it's not Derek Carr, he chooses to go to the Jets, what have you. Then what's Plan B? Because I can pretty much. I would be just fascinated to know, what if Derek Carr chooses to go to the Jets? Mm-hmm. Like, then what is their backup plan? Do they have one?
Because it's a domino. This a big domino.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's huge.
And it's like, then after that, you got Jimmy G. What's going on with that? And then that shit just falls, bro. Like, the talent level just... And it's going to be a QB musical chairs with teams.
Yeah.
Come free agency start, you just don't know how that shit gonna play out, bro. I just got the feeling they're gonna be going back to Andy, though, bro.
You feel it? Feel it too, man. To me, I feel like when DA couldn't seal the deal with Derek Carr when he was in here for 2 days, and he wanted to be traded. And again, not necessarily to the Saints, but at the point he wanted to be traded.
Right.
After 2 days, for him to be like, nah, just cut me instead. Like, to me, that told me everything I needed to know.
Yeah.
And even when it's framed of, like, ask him to take a pay cut, which they did during the meeting, there's ways that maybe you could have done that, but maybe you had framed the vision of him leading the Saints in such a great way. And it's like, now our only sticking point is like blah blah, and he's like, oh, okay, I heard that, but like, man, y'all just created this like vivid fucking picture. Like, okay, I'll do the pay cut, or maybe we can negotiate the amount of the pay cut. Like, you're asking for this much, but I'll compromise and say this amount, but I want to be here, bruh. That did not happen. He left, just left. And then you see pictures of him with the Jets, just smiling, and fucking Diana Ricini like tweeted, the Jets told him, and this is like, again, there's not a hint of truth to this. They told Derek Carr, if you come to the Jets, you could be a Hall of Fame NFL quarterback. If you now, I know as whether you're a guy or a girl, no matter if you listen to this podcast, if there's someone that you got your eye on and you want them, you want to be dating, or maybe it's just a physical thing, you can say some any outlandish shit as a compliment, and it may not even be true, right? But you just put it out there, you're just like, oh, maybe they'll hear this and they'll just be like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in hell Robert Saleh believes that Derek Carr's a Hall of Fame quarterback if he goes to the Jets.
My thing is, you can say that all you want, but if you really believe that, he'd be signed. Like that fucking money, that money will be signed. $45 million, $50, whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? The contract wouldn't be an issue at all. And that's my thing. Derek Carr would be signed right now if money wasn't an issue. You know what I'm saying?
There it is. Yep.
But, he can say all he wants, like, oh, I'm just, wearing my ups and this and that. Fact is, nobody has put out a number that he wants yet. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And which is fine, like that, because those things can change rapidly, especially once free agency starts and all that stuff. So, I understand it. But to me, I'm just like, man, let's just stop all this bullshit in the media that's going on, bro. It's just like, this is straight up negotiation.
Negotiation.
Mm-hmm. That's all this is, man. And
as most of the NFL, I'm just saying, as most of the NFL reporting is just all negotiation in the media.
Right.
But yes.
So
what you're saying, it feels like the Jets what?
It feels like the Jets should be able to close this deal.
You would think so.
But I just, it's just so hard to know right now. But it's like, if it's not the Jets, if it's not the Saints, then who is it?
Then who? Like the Panthers?
Yes, the Panthers. I hadn't heard anything. Like, I saw that little report out there, but man, that little report reeked of agent being like, yeah, we got like 8 teams interested right now. It's like, okay, like, yeah, every team that needs a quarterback, I'm sure called.
Of course.
And, gotta, hey, where is he at with it, because everybody's just trying to do their due diligence right now, you know what I'm saying? But like real interest, like the Saints really had interest. They sent a private jet out, they fucking said, come here, we want you here now. The Jets really had interest. So I'm just wondering, like, how many teams really do have interest?
I would probably say Saints, Jets, Panthers to like a smaller degree, and I also think to a smaller degree, the Bucks, even though nothing's come out regarding them yet. Pretty much, if you're an NFC South team, besides maybe the Falcons, you have interest in Derek Carr, and the Jets do. Speaking of dominoes, and I know we're talking about the Saints, and we're going to get back to them, but since we got on this path of dominoes, I think it's important to talk about a huge domino that has yet to be decided is the playing future of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
is he gonna want to continue to play? If he does Green Bay and him amicably part ways?
Right.
That has not been decided, because then I think you could see the energy from the Jets changing. It's like,
oh yeah,
like, oh no, it's like the meme, the classic meme with the dude with walking was the girl, then the look back like, oh shit, Aaron Rodgers back here. Okay. All right. So that could also, and again, that's a domino that if Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay decide that he wants to keep playing, but it's not going to be Green Bay, you can see the Jets bundle some picks and trade for him. And then Derek Carr again is kind of left for like, oh shit, I guess I can go to New Orleans. Like,
right.
This is why this offseason to a small degree is fascinating to me, at least particularly from the quarterback perspective of like where these guys go. Cause like you said, it's going to have such a huge domino effect. What other musts getting back to the Saints, what other musts do you have for them this offseason?
Oh, we already talked about, when they came, we need running back, man. It's a must that they bring in a running back, whether it's the draft, free agency, trade, all resources need to be going into getting a starting running back. Somebody preferably that could run between the tackles, can catch out the backfield. I prefer, looking at this running back class of the draft, I prefer to go with a draft pick, but you go both. Go get free agency and a draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, AK, he will miss some time this season, most likely, with the suspension. Plus, like, you need one anyway. Suspension
Right.
or not. So it's like, go with it, man. Get some fresh legs in there. When the last time we just seen like a big running back run, bro? Like, just break off for 60 yards. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's so long, bro. Like, maybe Taysom Hill probably had more shit.
Yeah, he had one against Seattle. Yeah,
man. So it's like, they need to get a running back, bro. There's plenty to choose from this draft too. So, like, that is a must, man. And it was a must last season.
It was. I'm gonna bring up a name that I brought up last season, and I'm gonna bring up that name again because he had a pretty decent season on a not great team, but that team swept the Saints. You've seen what Deontay Foreman has done again, in your division.
Yeah.
At least for a full season, right? He's a type of running back where he works perfectly if AK is not suspended, and kind of that 1-2 punch.
Right.
And he also, I'm not saying that he should be the answer if AK is suspended 6 games or 8 games, but at least he's part of the equation. And and that to me, I don't feel like he would cost that much money.
Right. No, none of them are going to cost much money, man.
The running backs. 100% agree with you that running backs a need for me. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but these are the needs we're looking at if we're running the team, or even maybe we're not running the team. Maybe it's just us as fans. But a need is they need to show us that, and we've said it before on prior episodes, but they need to show us that they can retain homegrown talent. Can you show us that? Like it's been a mass exodus, of talent that's been drafted and now are making plays for other teams in big games in the playoffs. Von Bell, Trey Hendrickson. I know he got hurt this year, but Marcus Williams, C.D. Deuce. Four players I just named just off the top of my head.
Right.
Can you show us that you can extend Juwan Johnson whatever a reasonable contract is for him? Can you show us that you can extend Caden Ellis? And even though he might not be the perfect fit next to Pete Warner if Demario Davis retires, or after next season if Demario Davis is no longer on the team, and maybe at that point we have to figure it out. But can you just extend them and just show us that we drafted these guys, or an undrafted guy, and we have developed them to be either a serviceable or a good or decent NFL starter, and they are hard to find.
Right.
So why can't you just show that you can retain them? And I get it. It goes back to Mickey, and it's like, well, we value you at this number and not this. That's what it always goes back to. And it's just so you guys are just willing to just let talent leave and then potentially maybe hope you get it right in the draft, which you're drafting at times, especially in round 1 lately, has been spotty as fuck.
Man, if they fuck around with Juwan Johnson, bro, I'm gonna light their ass up on Twitter. Like, please don't fuck around with this shit. Put the second round or first round tender on him and figure out a deal. Period. Like, don't get cute with shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever that is they do with the tender, where it's kind of like, you put a little late round tender on him and everybody come listening.
I think he's gonna get the lowest round tender, bro.
Why? Like, give me a reason. Why? Like, what's the reasoning behind it? There's no reason to do that.
I know there's no reason to do it. You know there's no reason to do it, but this
ain't no Keith Kirkwood. You know what I'm saying? This is a dude that you brought like as an undrafted wide receiver and nurtured him and developed, went through all the bumps, the drops, passes, all that stuff, all the bumps and bruises, and he has flourished in in not great offensive situations and still flourish, man. It's like that's the type of guy you want, on the team. Plus, it seems like he's a good team guy. You know what I'm saying? Players like him and stuff like that. That's the type of dude you want on the squad. And it's not like you're gonna break the bank. You know what I'm saying? He had like a good season this year, but it's not like he put up 1,200 yards or nothing like that. He's not going to be the highest paid tight end or anything like that. Like, man, get that deal done. Those are the ones, like as a front office, those are the slam dunks. Should be easy. Like those should be
easy. Easy. It should be done before even free agency starts, Ryan. Like that's how easy
before
it
starts, bro. Get his agent in there. Y'all get Kai work out the numbers and get the average tight end numbers for the last 3 years. Stretch that shit out there on a ghost year too. Get it done. Like that shit like that should be easy, bro. So if they just fuck that up, bro, I'm done with these dudes, bro. I'm not saying I'm done with it, but it's not like come on now. Like that should be easy. I don't want to hear that about it. And Ellis he's a free agent, so it could be a little tricky, but that's another one that should be easy, bro. That should be easy, man. Like now if some team comes to Ellis and like, look, man, we want to make you the starter of this defense, and we're gonna pay you $25, $30 million contract or something like that. Then I was like, okay, I get it, man. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen, bro. Like, you can go ahead and get Ellis, bro.
Yeah, the only thing I can see with Ellis is if you see I could see a team like Atlanta doing it, or I could see a team like New England doing it.
Oh, no question. Atlanta,
I can see, bro. Yeah, I can see like Atlanta just come in and just kind of see like, our defense is kind of like, honestly, I hate to say it, and I know people don't want to, man, Caden Ellis went to Atlanta. He played the same way he played this season. He'd be a problem, bro.
Hell yeah.
He'd be a problem. And to me, that's just more impetus to just getting it done. Yeah. Just get it done. Like, so that, to me, that's a must.
A need.
Like
a must or a need. Is that a must or a need? No, must or must. Like, they have to happen. Needs is like, man, I need that.
No,
shit.
Man, I think it's a must for them to show us as fans that they can retain homegrown talent.
I agree.
Because at this point, it's been criminal, bro. What has happened? It's been criminal. Like, you've let Von Bell go for an older Malcolm Jenkins. Malcolm Jenkins played what, 2 seasons? Was it 3? I don't even know. And then he retired. Malcolm Jenkins was out, and Von Bell's out here thriving for the Bengals. I understood letting Trey Hendrickson go because of the flat cap, and you just didn't have the money to pay Trigger Trey. I get it. But then you can't turn around and let Marcus Williams leave over $2 million. And that's why, as much as we light up DA on this podcast, and 99% of the time is justifiable, Mickey Loomis has so much of the blame that he shares in all of this as well, just for how staunchly he is when it comes to contract negotiations.
Yeah.
Point blank period. Okay. You can throw out a must, you can throw out a need, or a want. Let me hear it.
A want?
I have a good one. I have a good one.
Go with a one.
Can we just try it? I want to try the Michael Thomas and Chris Olave and Shaheed thing for one more season. That's what I want. Figure out a contract. It could be super incentive laced. And obviously a lot of it's going to depend on Mike's health. But you cannot look at me in the straight face and see what this man did in the second half of week 1 against AJ Terrell. And if you take your homer glasses off, AJ Terrell's like a top 6, top 8 cornerback in the league. He's top 10 for sure. And what Mike did to him in that game was just classic Michael Thomas. I'm better than you. The ball's coming this way. I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to flex in front of you, and there's nothing that you can do as a cornerback defending me. There are not a lot of wide receivers that are like that in the NFL. And as good as Chris Olave was last season, as good as Shaheed was last season, the offense absolutely missed that kind of tough, gritty, just aspect from the wide receivers on the team, because that's just not their game, and that's fine.
Which is crazy, because prior to that, all we had was the tough, gritty.
Bruh.
Tough, gritty over the
middle. So I want, even though I know his contract got moved around and changed, and everything looked like they were going to cut him, and they still might, right? But this is a want. And a want for me is for them to figure out a 1-year deal that Mike stays in New Orleans for. He has a good relationship with DA. I shouldn't say that because I know it, but it seems like he has a better relationship with DA than he did with Sean Payton towards the end. Figure it out. And what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is he just has an insanely unreal old school Mike Thomas type season. And then after this season, you're like, well, shit, we can't really pay him. Whatever. That's the worst that could happen. Or I guess the absolute worst is he gets injured. But if it's an incentive-based contract, you don't really, quote unquote, miss anything. Also, a want I have is, it's going to be selfish as shit. I know that I can't say I want them to sign him to a 1-year deal and for this to happen. But I also kind of want Mike to just sue the Saints medical staff, bro. Will be a huge conflict of interest. But this man has been going on Twitter, social. I don't know. I have Mike muted on all social media, so these are the things that are posted usually in the Discord. But this man's going on a rampage warpath against the Saints medical staff and just taking shots at them. And it's like he has every fucking right to.
Absolutely.
There are two, or at least one and a half different medical staffs that has kind of taken away his career to some fucking degree, which is, we already went to the whole negligent podcast. I'm not going to go through that again. But man, can you as a player try to hold them accountable? Because at some point, the message has to get through that this is not okay.
And the one thing that gets me is still, especially with the national media, it's reported as Mike Thomas is this diva.
Yes.
And there's no mention of the whole medical thing. It's like nobody knows what's really going on, and Mike Thomas gets picked as this injury prone type of player, which he never was injury prone until what happened or whatever. And it's just annoying, especially I'm sure it's annoying for him, somebody that reads his tweets,
I bet it makes his blood boil.
That he's just getting the blame as being man, this dude is just he doesn't really want to play, and there's all this stuff. It's y'all kid, Mike Thomas don't want to play football. Y'all, that's what y'all telling me. You could criticize Mike for all type of things, but not wanting to play football is just not it. That's not.
Nope.
It's not in his bloodstream. It's just not.
It's not. It's not. It's not how he's driven, man.
And I know that drives him crazy. And nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? All he can do is try to bounce back and play. And the thing about with the Saints is they cut him and it becomes immediately a need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They need that player. So if it's not him, what they gonna go get Robert Woods, just got cut the deal, whatever. And it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's man, if they could just figure that out. And look, it's still a gamble. Make no question about it.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
He's played 10 games in 3 years. We have no idea where his body is right now. And you're dependent on that same medical staff to evaluate that. So it's just I don't know. But, man, that's something. I just give it one more. Give it one more year.
Please.
Just one more. Don't work after that. You try. You can't say you didn't try after that.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. What about you? Give me a want, give me a need, give me a must.
Oh man, a want. I want. We already talked about Juwan Johnson, but I want them to go get another tight. This draft got some tight ends, bro. It's been some years. It's been some years since there's been some good tight ends coming out. And look, you can find them in the first round, second round, third round. There's some good tight ends. I would love for them to just go get another tight end, especially like what's the kid name out of Notre Dame?
Michael Mayer.
Mayer. I love him because he's like such an old school tight end because he plays in line, plays at the wide, catches passes. No, he's not he's not a freak like Jimmy Graham or nothing, but he just does everything you want a tight end to do. Yep. You put him, partner him with like a flex tight end, like Jawan, and you could do so many things with a creative offensive mind. Anyway, but you could do so many things with that. That's just one of the things I want, man. Like, let's just get funky on the offense, bro. Let's do some things at teams and make them think. Look what the Lions doing, man. Look what teams are doing these days, bro. I saw a study somewhere where they just looked at like all the Super Bowl, teams that made the Super Bowl last couple of years, and you gotta have offense, bro.
Got to.
I'm not saying defense ain't important. Obviously, defense is important because defense is super important. You ain't got no offense, bro. You ain't got no business being in the game. None. None.
Like, all I keep thinking about, and I know the comparison isn't fair because no one in the NFL has a player like this. But I keep going back, and keep in mind the San Francisco defense that made it to the Super Bowl. We saw as Saints fans that there was a lot of.
Oh yeah.
Can you say chinks in the armor? Is that offensive?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, I want to say chinks in the armor because I can't think of like another phrase. But I was like, damn. Before I said, I was like, but I'm not trying to like use the offensive term.
Yeah, there's a little racist.
Right. Let me go get an Oriental rug. Like what? So when we saw dents in their armor, I guess who made up the phrase cheats in their armor? I'm stuck on this. But we saw dents in that armor in that Saints game, right? Like Drew Brees and Sean Payton, and kind of like their last like assignment of acing the test showed that defense, as great as it was that was Fred Warner, that was Nick Bosa in his rookie season. Cut them up, right? Go to that Super Bowl. The Niners are up double digits in the fourth quarter. All they needed was a stop, Ryan. All they needed was a couple of stops, and they would have won Super Bowl. Bro. But when you got Superman over there on the other sideline, and that's why even just looking at this past Super Bowl, the only reason the Eagles had a chance was they had an offense that were able to put up points going toe-to-toe with the Chiefs. We're actually leading in that game for a while.
Only reason they had a chance.
Only reason. It wasn't their defense that had led the league in sacks.
No.
It was their offense that gave them a chance in that game. And it kind of just goes back to it was just as much as I loved our Zooms on doing the game, bruh, watching our offense, man, it was hard.
Sleepy.
It's just hard. So
I would literally take naps during the Zoom. I'd go take a 30-minute nap and come back.
So piggybacking off what you said with the tight end, I agree with you, tight end. I have not watched him in depth, and I want, but I've seen enough of him play. Not so much this season, but I saw a lot of him play last season. I was watching some fucking game, studying a prospect from last year, and they were going against Notre Dame, and I was like, "Who is this 87 on Notre Dame? Like this is cooking out here." And that to me, as like a quote unquote draft nick, if I'm watching another player on film, but you have someone that just keeps fucking standing out, you like, okay, that dude's good.
Right.
Don't know who he is. I'm not watching this to watch him, but this dude's making plays. I wish I could tell you who I was watching because it wasn't Kyle Hamilton, because obviously they played on the same team. But I was watching some defensive player, and they were going against the Notre Dame offense, and 87 kept making plays. I was like, is it? When is he draft eligible? Can we get a Michael like him? Darnell Washington. Haven't watched enough of him at Georgia, but probably good. You got Kincaid from Utah. Like, just go get one of them. Maybe it's not a tight end. And I know we talked about Mike Thomas if he came back, but even if Mike Thomas came back on like this 1-year deal, man, if I'm sitting there at fucking 29, why can I not draft the fucking Jackson? Yeah, Jackson Azemba.
Go get Azemba. Shit.
But I'm gonna tell you a want I have. Speaking of pick 29, I know not everyone agrees with this logic, and from that perspective, I understand because there's not a quarterback yet on this team. But if I'm the Saints, I'm calling the Bengals. I say I have pick 29 for you. You can trade me T. Higgins, and as soon as he's traded, you lock him up with a contract extension. That's a want for me.
I'd be down
because one, I gotta look at my team, and I know the Saints don't look at it from this perspective because they think that their opinion and they are always right, as most NFL teams do. I don't want to put that just for the Saints. A lot of NFL teams think that way.
Yeah.
However, you got to look at. I would look at if I'm the Saints. I'm looking at it from my track record. I'm looking at from like this period to this period. Who have we hit on in the first round? Okay, we didn't. Pete. Pete's like the ultimate yellow in terms of my little charts I do, right? Pete was a yellow. Sheldon Rankins. I can't. Sheldon a yellow? I don't know what Sheldon is, bro.
Man, Sheldon getting love in free agency, boy.
Might be back.
Might be back to the
Saints. Might be back. Anyway, Marcus Davenport, red. Peyton Turner, red.
I was pushing for Davenport for being green, bro, but I gave up.
I remember it, bro. This man that went from yellow to red, bro. Like, just a broken stop line. But I'm looking at, I was like, man, our track record in the first round is spotty at best. Again, that is not just a Saints thing. It is hard picking humans. We've had this conversation numerous times on this podcast. But you have a proven talent in T. Higgins. And I'm not doing this. This is not a want to like rewrite sins of the past or anything like that. Because he's a proven talent. The Bengals I don't know why the Bengals are doing this. Like, well, I guess the reason they would do it a year early is that they would get something for T. Higgins now, but if he plays out the season, he leaves. The most that they would get is potentially like a 3rd round comp pick. So let me try to, maximize that value. If I'm the Bengals, the smart thing we would do is like this: your window is open right fucking now. Like, why would you? When you have a chance to win a Super Bowl, figure out the T. Higgins shit later. But Mike Brown is going to Mike Brown. You have a proven talent. You have a need at wide receiver. I don't know how good people think or will say T. Higgins is. Is he a wide receiver 1? Is he a wide receiver 1.5? I don't know. All I know is he's a dog and he makes fucking plays.
Hell yeah, man. The Saints offense, I think he'd be great.
So, this goes back to the whole thing of if you can't get the guy at quarterback, and maybe they could trade 29 to the Bengals, get T. Higgins, and then in the second round, maybe they can, I don't know, get a Hendon Hooker or a quarterback. I don't know. But you draft T. Higgins or you trade for T. Higgins and just build your fucking team.
Right.
At that point, you'd have a wide receiver core of T. Higgins, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, right? Okay, I can work with that. Dwan Johnson, assuming he's back at tight end. Shit, okay, I can work with that. Yes, the offensive line needs some help. Yeah, AK might be suspended or whatever, but I'm trying to be competitive and hopefully continue to build a strong team that maybe can be competitive in the NFC South, or maybe can win a wild card game in the playoffs. And then when you see whoever this next quarterback domino at some points, who's going to one out, it's going to get one trade.
Yeah.
Contract negotiations could get, bro. Everyone assumes Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, is them leaving. Know. But all it takes is a messy negotiation, bro.
You never know what happens. You never know when Stafford pops up.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you never know when Matthew Stafford pops up. Deshaun Watson, throw the sexual assaults out.
Correct.
He was available. You know what I'm saying? Before we even knew about that, he was going to be available.
Yes.
So things like that happen. Like, Drew Brees back in the day, Alex Smith. These little things happen every now and then where, you get a good, Kirk Cousins. You get a good, either solid to really good franchise quarterback being available either by trade or free agency. And you got to be ready to strike.
We're seeing it a little bit with Lamar Jackson to some degree.
To some degree. So you got to be ready to strike. And, in the meantime, it's like, it's like building a house. It's like getting your house built, all that stuff. And, we waiting to meet that right woman. And, that way once you get on, you just move on in. Like, we got the house already set up.
Go ahead, girl.
Full bedroom, backyard, you know what I'm saying? Everything
got
all
the grill in the back. I've had this conversation with a friend, and the response was the Saints are not in a place financially cap-wise where they should be doing something like that. And I'm just like,
when you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply. When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Just fucking do it. Just fucking do it and figure it out, man. Like, that is not a me problem.
I go to sleep every time I hear that, man. It's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I get it. Like, no, they are not. Like, should they be investing a draft pick in a long-term deal and a wide receiver when they don't have a quarterback and they're more of a team, kind of like a meddling team trying to find its way out of meddling, than potentially being a good team? I get that. But as a fan, give me excitement, build the foundation, and then hope shit falls right. That's all you can do. That's all you can do, man.
And, you build your team. Look, you don't have to, just because it's 29th pick, you use a 29th pick on a wide receiver doesn't mean you're not building the core of your team. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, you can get an offensive line in third round. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to build your roster with all the tools you have available.
Let me throw this scenario at you, right? So let's say, just like you said, right? You build the house, they get T. Higgins. And I know no one wants to hear this, and as fans, we don't want this to happen, but just for whatever reason, let's say something happens this upcoming season and they went 1-16 or some shit like that, bruh. Then you sit number one overall. Oh shit! Who might be? No, that Caleb Williams. Oh shit! Now you got Caleb Williams throwing to Chris Olave and T. Higgins. I'm not saying that's how you should build your team, but I'm not saying, I'm saying in the likelihood of building your team that way is extremely fucking difficult because it takes a lot of fucking things for that to happen, et cetera, et cetera. That said, it's to some degree that's how the Bengals got lucky in building their team, right? They got the franchise quarterback, number 1 pick overall. Next year, and then he tears his ACL, and so they weren't as good that year that they were expected to be. So then they got the 5th overall pick in the draft the next year. Boom, generational talent.
Right.
Now
you never know how it goes, man. Like I tweeted earlier today, like, maybe the Saints' best hope is to be kind of like the Alex Smith-led Chiefs, where they have like a mid-range quarterback. They're competitive. They're in the playoffs. They're good. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's expecting them to get to the Super Bowl. But then they just get lucky one year where a quarterback they like falls in the range where they could trade up to get him. You know what I'm saying? That's just in one of those ranges. And you don't have to get your franchise quarterback number 1 overall. We've seen the history of this. Like, the history of number 1 overall picks are not good. So, I mean, the last 2 successful ones were Cam Newton and Andrew Luck. And I mean, you could argue Andrew Luck wasn't successful, but you know what I'm saying? However you want to look at that. But that's what I'm saying. That's how hard it is, even with the number 1 overall pick, to get it right. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen countless other good quarterbacks come, later, number 9 overall, 11 overall, 10 overall. You just never know. So, yeah, you build your team and just kind of stay in that mix. And then, you just hope, you just got to hope the situation gets to the point where you can get one, be a trade, be a trading up in the draft, trade for a player like, they did Matthew Stafford, or, you get luck up with like Drew Brees, which is just looking like one of the most remarkable things ever. To get Drew Brees. Insane. With a bum shoulder like that. Like, that shit is, I don't think that's ever going to happen again, bro. Like, this is one of those things that'll never happen.
Nah, I don't think you'll see it again. I didn't realize that we are already like close to going 50 minutes on this episode. So give me one more, either must, need, or want before we wrap it up.
I mean, they need pass rush, man. However that is. DE, DT. Don't know how you get it. I don't know if you get that in the draft. I don't know if you sign somebody in free agency. I don't know. But that pass rush is going to get tepid this year, Brad. I think that could break the defense.
Flaccid.
That, to me, could break the defense.
Picking back off that point, a need for me is I need them to know when to walk away from Marcus Davenport.
And you want to give Mike Thomas a chance? You don't want to give Davenport a chance, man?
Say it louder for the people in the back, Ryan.
You don't want to give Davenport a chance, man.
And at least with MT, he's a dog. He's a dog. You know he wants to be on the field. Man, Marcus Davenport, you're like, do I really want to play today?
Man, I was dying laughing at the Discord when they had Peyton Turner. He was on the float in one of those parades. Just having a blast. Just having a blast, man.
The Marge Simpson meme was just so mad, Ryan.
Want to punch him, bro. So happy-ass nigga, man. What you happy about, bro? You was a healthy scratch in week 17, motherfucker. Why are you happy?
Man, this man's getting an NFL salary to do nothing, bro. I'd be happy too. Go on. Do you, Peyton? Do you, Hoopers? I just don't. I don't need to see your face, bro. And can we talk about like all the Peyton Turner's pictures there's been this year? First, it was the one in Green Bay in the preseason game, the dunk, and then he had a whole.
I forgot about that, man.
And then he had a horrible game, and then there was another. Oh my god! Just stop taking pictures, bro. Like when someone come around, you say, nah. Like,
no pictures.
Good. Because if you become a fucking meme out real quick, they out here getting cooked. But I need them to realize when it's time to walk away, and I know that they want Marcus Davenport back. I don't know what his market is going to be. I think potentially another team may save them from themselves. Please, Chicago Bears, please, someone to save them from themselves. I can't do another season or multiple seasons where he's just on the field, out of shape, out of just not just overweight.
Another Mike Trippett report. He plans to turn the season around. He's getting confidence. I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. Get anybody in there. Anybody.
Clowney, Melvin Ingram, Justin Houston, someone. The draft pick that they had drafted in 2017 from Miami, Muhammad. The Bears just cut Aquadine Muhammad. Bring him back in this bitch. Like, get Marcus Davenport out my face. Can't do it right. Can't do it. Ooh, just I don't know how they drafted. I know how they drafted because it's the Saints, and they have just two of the biggest, happiest motherfuckers you'll ever see. Okay. I think we hit on it a lot. I'm trying to think if there's anything else kind of coming to mind.
Offensive line, obviously. I mean, they can get a guard. We'll see what happens with Pete. They can go guard. They can go, right tackle. They can go tackle, either tackle spot, honestly. I mean, you would think the left tackle's coming back, but I mean, you just don't know. Penning, yeah. But it's just like, bro, like I've always believed in investing in the offensive line. So, like, whatever they want to do. I'm not saying first round or anything like that, but just, keep plugging youth in there, man. Because the run game was weak at best. How much is that is the player? How much is that is, the running scheme and all that stuff? I don't know, but I like to keep the offensive line young and healthy.
And they're super, super banged up.
Super banged up. And that's been every year.
Yes.
Every year they've been banged up, man.
It's a weird, it's not a weird one. It's a quick one. Can we see what the defense looks like with Alante and Marshawn at outside corner, please? Can we see it?
Ooh, I like that.
Alante, I feel like Alante has earned to be starting outside, opposite of Marshawn.
I agree.
Do whatever you figure it out with Paulson Adebo. If he can play slot. You have a defensive head coach. You cannot tell me with a straight face that you can't coach, a player to play a slot position. Now, is Paulson Adebo's body type and style suited for like slot? Probably not, but like get your best cornerbacks on the field and figure it out. Yeah. Period. That said, we're going to wrap this up so it doesn't go too long. We understand and we realize it's a dead period right now. We kind of took a little tiny break ourselves. I know Ryan was enjoying Mardi Gras season. I know Mardi Gras was yesterday, so happy Mardi Gras to everyone. That is on my bucket list. Mardi Gras usually happens like 10 days after my birthday, and I've always told myself that one year in February, I want to be in New Orleans either the week of my birthday or the week after my birthday and experience Fat Tuesday and Mardi Gras.
Early February next year, I believe.
Okay. But every time I tell myself that, and then I start like peeking at prices for like,
can't help you there, bro.
Ooh, Lord.
Be crashing back at Ramon's spot, man.
Like, sorry, I blew your bathroom up that one time, bro, and flooded that shit. But like, it's hard out here, right? But it's. I will make it happen. As even if it's one of those things, I've realized like I might have to like fly into Houston and then like drive. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But it's on the bucket list. But seeing tons of pictures on social media, Instagram, Twitter, of everyone having a great time. And, we are 3 years removed from a fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
So to see like, and I know like for the most part we're back to a sense of normalcy, but I just feel like it's needed, man. It's needed.
It felt like it was back this year, bro. Like I hadn't seen so many people down in New Orleans, that many people in a long time. You could tell pretty much everybody felt like, yeah, we back, motherfucker. Like fuck that shit. We are back, and it was packed everywhere, bro. It was live. The whole city was live. I enjoyed it, man. But I'm like my social meter is dead, bro. I don't want to see
nobody. But thank y'all. You know, those who continue to listen to us, really appreciate it, even during the dead period. You know, at times of it is, we appreciate it. If you are a listener and you ordered a #SaintsTwitter podcast jersey, pretty much all of them have been sent out for the most part. I still need to send you and Breeze yours. I just got to find a box that fits them. And then I have to send the whole gift package out to Dan in the UK, you know, because he got 4 jerseys coming. Bro, that international shipping. Buddy.
And then all Brexit and all that shit. Oh man.
Ooh, internet. So that's why for the international shipping, we send it all to one person, and then after that, he'll either mail it out to people overseas, or just they'll meet and pick it up. But that international shipping ain't no joke. But we will make sure that everyone gets everything. We're crazy excited of how they came out. I don't think we realized they were actually like fitted like actual NFL jerseys. So, it's got to be broken in. But thank y'all. Again, it's dead. So y'all continue to support and listen, and we truly appreciate that. As things start ramping up here more often with Combine coming up and then free agency, obviously we're going to start doing more episodes. I'm pretty sure it's only a matter of time that is going to happen before we will have to do another emergency podcast episode, because that's just how the Saints operate, man. But truly, thank y'all so much. We truly appreciate it. We'll be back as soon as we can. With that, we're out.
Peace.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
There was a time when sunlight turned the earth into a gallery, when elegant estates welcomed works of art that drew us closer and closer together. It was a captivating time. It was spring, this spring at Biltmore. Plan your visit or overnight stay so you can enjoy the marvelous works of Chihuly while every corner of Biltmore blooms. Reserve now to get spring savings at Biltmore.com.